Fam, I've been looking at interviews with a vampire. I'm thinking about going the other route.
What? That can mean a lot of different things.
Listen, man.
You want to clear that up for the viewing public?
I'm trying to be 33 forever, dog. You know what I'm saying? What's going on, fam? This is KR Jones of the Off the Strength podcast, and I am here to tell you to like, listen, subscribe, and if you're feeling freaky, visit offthestrength.com. That's where you can go and get more information on us. That's where we can link, we can build, we can connect, and let's make this thing work.
I swear to you, being on a bike, I've been seeing people try to pull off all types of crazy shit, like on a daily type of basis, bro. Hate pulling up to the light and start looking around. I see motherfuckers trying to get their content off. They're in the car trying to have a full tutorial, speaking down the lane. I'm like, yo, fam, I need you to pay attention to what's going on.
This is what it's like to be an asshole in New York City.
It's dead serious. Like, I don't want to be in your video.
I didn't sign a release.
Yeah, I was like, what's happening right now? What's going down, bro? I'm seeing countless people just run dead in the middle of the street trying to avoid a rat. It's like no regard to what's going on in traffic.
You're trying to get hit.
Yo, see it way too often. You hear the scream and then you see somebody try to scurry in the middle. And then last but not least, fam, I totally saw somebody eating a full plate of food with both hands, driving with their knees, like just full speed. And I'm like, yo, he's got a fork and a knife, no shirt on, a plate, not even a dish. He's just eating off of a plate in the middle of traffic. It's like, oh, wait. What are you doing? No part of this meal is set up for you to be eating like this.
Shows you where the economy is, bro.
Yo, we are in a crazy ass time, bro. What happened to common decency, Jones?
It don't exist.
That's where we at. What's good, everybody? What's good? Welcome back to yet another episode of Off the Strength, where we're giving you an inside look into all things wellness culture. I'm a trainer called Tony, and of course with me I have a gentleman of extraordinary league.
KR Jones is in the building.
That's right, folks. We are back. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, listeners of all type from near and far, you are now in store for a treat because it's the return of the variety show. That's when we give you our best foot forward. So hopefully you take your best foot forward. You do that two-step, that tango, whatever it is you need to do to make it on through the week. Best goddamn wellness information available.
Yay!
Now, Brother Jones, as we try to restore common decency on the world.
Nah, I gave up hope.
How you feeling this week, my man?
I'm feeling like that Bill Burr skit when he was talking about reducing the population significantly.
It needs to happen.
Just bring everybody into the auditorium, give them a sheet of paper. If you don't got a pencil to fill out,
you gone.
You gone already. If you ain't show up with something to write with, that's half the population right there.
No, man.
You know, so I'm feeling like that, especially in a place like New York.
You're trying to thin the herd.
Overly populated. I'm overstimulated, and I'm over it all.
Oh, man, I'm hating to hear that you feel that way coming into it, but I do know the sentiment, my man. I do totally understand it. I, too, have been in the same kind of situation where it's just kind of like, yo, this place is getting, again, frantic by the day, man. And you know, in the last couple of weeks, I've definitely been trying to keep up pace with all the crazy energy that kind of comes around when you're ending down on the summertime. So I really wanted to tap into everything I could, but it feels like you start to spread yourself too thin and you can't end up doing anything. It's like, yo, I'm running here, I'm running there. I don't know where to go, bro.
The convenience of a space like New York used to be a great thing. When your convenient spaces are overly populated, that's when it becomes problematic, you know?
I know that I'm just getting old, bro. I don't have patience for a lot of other shit.
That too.
So I've just accepted the fact that it was like, yo, this shit used to look cute, but this ain't really where I'm at right now. And in this phase of life, Kyle, I'm hyper aware of all the things that cost me in life. And this is going...
The patience is there. The tolerance is lower than it's ever been.
I feel like they're two sides of the same coin. But
yeah, I hear you.
It's something that drives me crazy, and I have to take that into consideration when I'm thinking about all the costs of operation. Now, I'm at the phase, Kyle, where I know every single decision that I make on a daily basis is going to cost me something. And I want to bring this to you in this Ask the Professionals question today, my brother. So, how do you balance your operational costs with your passion and your professional output to achieve what you call success in life?
I turned into Julius from Everybody Hates Chris real quick.
What's that supposed to mean?
You start to calculate how much every interaction cost.
Julius was the father.
He was the father.
Okay.
That's 20 cents off the light bill right there. You just wasted $1.16. Like when every conversation, every interaction, not to make it transactional, but it is, it then comes down to, okay, am I benefiting from this? Am I helping somebody else benefit from this? And ultimately, is this going to be beneficial to the greater sense of the world?
Yeah.
If it's not, I don't really have time for it, right? And my lens, as you know, has been completely re-altered and reshaped and reformed, especially as I approach this, sunset of my 33rd birthday coming up. It's like, fam, every way that I used to think is insufficient anymore. Now I'm thinking longevity. And with that, you have to make those decisions that directly affect my operational costs, my, day-to-day spending. Like, does that little $5 coffee that I used to always get, that shit add up if you're going 4 or 5 times a week.
Yeah.
Them little DoorDash prices, the shit that fucked me up was like, when you order stuff online on like DoorDash and things of that nature, the prices that they give are inflated.
Yeah.
If you go to the restaurant, that same sandwich on the app that costs you
about
$13,
$3-4 cheaper.
It's $9 in the store. But you don't even think about that because they hide it from you. And then they bake it in. Oh, it's free delivery. The delivery ain't free. His tip is in your sandwich price.
Yeah.
Like, stuff like that is when you gotta really sift through to be like, damn, like, everybody's out to get me. Every decision I make needs to be calculated.
Yeah, man. I think you really landed the plane for like all of the actual like dollar value kind of operational costs.
Yeah.
For me, it's time, bro.
That
like
too.
Time is one of the biggest operational costs that you, at this phase of my life, you don't get it back, and it's only starting to go faster and faster by the day.
Just like that.
Just kind of like,
New York minutes.
It be the most, and that's what I'm really trying to think through. Like, okay, having a commitment full of things to do on a Saturday, all I could think about is the operational cost to make everybody else happy in that situation. Now, some things do make sense, and then other things are just kind of like, man, I want to be there, but it's going to cost me so much time, energy, and effort to get there. And by the time I
get back home,
I still didn't do what I needed to do to just operate and exist on my own zone. Like, fam, I'm definitely hyper concerned with everything that operates in the time sector of that thing. Like, much to your point on the value, I think the cost of everything, I think that they do add up over time. It's like, yo, damn, I had to do this thing. I had a deadline for something that, because I wanted to be, an anchor to every other situation that I had going on, it's going to cost me some of this time. Where am I going to make it up? It's only but 24 in this day, and they seem to be never enough time in my case to get all the shit done that you need to do in a normal 24, bro. So that's why hyper aware of the operational costs. And for me, the best way to navigate through that on my end is really putting that structure into place.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, I got to have some stuff that I'm totally fine with just saying no to and accepting everything that comes with no.
100%.
It's like, yo, I want to be there, but today's not the day. Oh, I want to try
Can't
this.
be everywhere doing everything with everybody, Tone.
Or I don't even want to try this. I don't even want to attempt to tell you that.
I don't even like you niggas like that. To be going out.
That's the phase that I'm getting into, bro.
I don't need your compliments. Yes, I've been fly. I do this. I didn't put this on for you.
Do you feel more confident as you approach your new age in putting that stamp down and making that stamp be the declaration?
Oh, it was already there. But now it just come with like a forearm and like a stiff arm even more so. And it's like, I hope you take it personal, because it is.
If somebody was having a hard time with that, how would you give them the tools to be able to feel that certain about the things that they need to protect against?
If somebody was having a hard time about boundary setting and really standing on their business, as the kids say, Tony.
You know it.
I would say you really have to evaluate perspective, right? If you're talking about what we just laid out, if we're talking about energy, if we're talking about time, if we're talking about cost, right? What does that mean to you? And if that don't mean shit to you, then go ahead and let other motherfuckers take it from you and go from there. But if it does mean something, then that's when you stand up, and it starts small with just no being a complete sentence. You don't even have to justify why that no needs to be no. It's just, hey, this ain't in the cards. I'll catch you another time. And it goes from there.
Can't please everybody, like the homie K. Dot said, man.
Can't please everybody.
You can't, Kyle. And just like you was talking about standing on business, I got to talk about some of the ups and downs in the business of the industry that we're in this next segment, my friend. I need to get into some good.
All right.
I need to get into a little bit of bad. And I'm going to talk about some stuff that was ugly that definitely raised my eyebrows over the last couple of weeks, Kyle. That's right. It's time for this week's episode of Rip from the Headlines. And first things out, Brother Jones, did you see that $682 million has been raised and invested over the last quarter, specifically going into mental health startups.
No, but I feel my mental health has now just been affected by hearing such a number.
In July alone, Spring Health and Headway each secured $100 million individually to start to have those two companies valued at $3.3 billion and $2.3 billion respectively. Now, Brother Jones, I put this out here because I want to try to find a way for us to get invested into this mental health space. We got something that Organic Thug Thoughts needs to come out for somebody.
100%.
They're getting this kind of money out here. This is something that I really want to tap into. But more importantly, fam, if people are this sick in the world, that's the only side of the industry that's making that much money.
Mentally sick.
Yes, there is an opportunity for people who are practitioners who help people with their mental health, their wellness, and all the things that alleviate that stress. That opportunity seems very green. What's your thoughts on hearing that component of this $628 million investment round?
Hi, I'm KR Jones of the Off the Strength podcast, and I'm here to help you with your mental health.
There we go.
From there, what we can do if we work together, we can raise our social awareness, our mental awareness, and the money we need so you don't have problems anymore.
That's right. Thugs are us. That's what we're trying to get the people into. It makes sense, bro. Now, financial highs followed immediately by some financial lows, my friend. Blink Fitness has filed for bankruptcy. Now, Kyle, I know.
It's about damn time.
You have frequented
in a blink of an eye.
You frequented, much like myself, I've been to a Blink before. Can you give the good listeners a little bit of a breakdown of your last interaction at Blink?
The last time that I was at Blink, it was a nice mixture of pleasantly plump young ladies on the Stairmaster. You got the OGs that's working out in Timberland boots and jeans.
Yeah.
Then you got the older population that knows they need to be there but don't know anything about wellness. So the reps that they're doing doesn't equate to the reps that they actually need in life.
Yeah.
As well as the staff that was completely ignorant to anything wellness other than making sure you check in when you show up.
Shout out to all my homies that's fresh out. You know, you got to understand what jobs
that part
you get when you first land.
Just because you got a chest.
I'm going to leave it at that.
Don't mean you need to work in the gym, brother.
You know, and you don't want their advice all the time. If they giving you advice, you make sure you understand.
If you tighten your booty hole up
you got to make sure the chest. You got to make sure you understand what their workout advice is coming from.
Pawn your left.
You know? But the Equinox-owned Blink Fitness, Kyle, filed for Chapter 11 this year in particular after briefly rebounding in the COVID-19 post-pandemic kind of scene. But now Equinox has started to show that they want nothing to do with this low-cost, low-price, high-value option to exist in their portfolio. They have moved money over into the higher end. So do remember, in the same year that they're closing their low-price items, they did roll out a whole $35,000 membership, single membership.
There's no middle class, fam.
Right? This is my point. So if this is rolling into the gym where you could pay somewhere around $35 to get an all-access pass, they're getting rid of that entirely and giving you a $35,000 membership in the stuff that they really care about, opening a brand new gym in Dubai. Like, what's this say about our market, fam? Like, people are really starting to shrink into two separate camps, and it doesn't look like this low price, high value market in this type of access in the gym is going to be occupied by anybody but Planet Fitness right now.
That's nasty business. Now, I would say Blink is like a Macy's bathroom, Tone. You ever been to a Macy's bathroom?
No.
Where like Macy's is like, you would think it's a nice department store. They got luxury items, things of that nature. You go in the bathroom, you find out that fiends be in there bird bathing and washing their ass.
That damn sure doesn't happen at a Blink.
That's exactly what a Blink is. Now, a Planet Fitness is more along the lines of like a deli bathroom, right? If you ever tried to use a bathroom in a deli, I wouldn't recommend it.
Answer at your own risk.
That
more ways than one, yo. All right. Again, moving into the next level of high-class stuff, did you see that the Whole Foods CEO has opened up his gym called Love.Life?
See, that's where I want to throw hands. Right there. Go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
So Love.Life is the integrated health and wellness company that is here to make a lasting impact on health and vitality by uniting the powers of holistic medicine, of precision wellness, and nourishing foods all underneath the same roof. Now, Kyle, I've been talking about these things separately for the longest time on this damn show.
It's a lot of buzzwords.
Medicine is coming into play.
Yep.
Now you have the same company that's owned by Amazon, who
Yep.
also owns some medicine, starting to roll into this whole preventative health wave and getting into this food as medicine also being distributed inside of these different gyms. And this is a very high-end level gym. Love.Life is their first opening is going to be in California, and I'm telling you, it is one of the most state-of-the-art, like luxury-looking experiences that you could see. What's your thoughts on, again, that door for the low-tier stuff closing, but it looks like there's sky's the limit on things that are moving in this other side of high-end fitness?
We are this close to having sex digitally. You know what I'm saying? When you think about what was that, Demolition Man, where they had the VR goggles and that's how they was giving it up.
Oh, I don't think that's too far out.
That's what I'm telling you.
I think that's live action.
When I hear Love.Life, that's all I hear, fam. And I'm so tired of these companies branching out and trying to problem solve when they the ones causing the problems in the first place.
Hey, man, listen, if I could create the issue, sell you the remedy, and then sell you all the other paths to get back into the same cycle of sickness, it might start to look away after a while. You start to pull back a little too far, man.
Fam, the loop is crazy. If I sell you the dope, call the police on you, bail you out of jail and sell it to you again,
make you go to rehab,
it's
and then,
crazy.
Then sell it back to you.
That's wild. It's madness.
It is signs of the times, and Kyle, these signs are pretty ugly. Now, ironically, you touched on my last two ugly statements and what you just finished saying. So first things out, I got to talk to you about a article that I saw in the New York Post, and this article's headline was "From Breaking Bread to Breaking Bad." This Catholic priest has confessed to cooking crystal meth in the rectory. Now, he talks about coming across some hard times and why he needed to start to raise funds alternatively, but they said this man went full Walter White Breaking Bad when the police came and saw the intricacy of this meth lab in the church. Only to be seconded by Kyle. Now, we've been talking about people having hard times in their typical job situations, and their side gigs is getting you into trouble. There are multiple teachers, not just one, multiple teachers who have been either put underneath indefinite suspension or fully terminated for starting their OnlyFans side hustles. Now, a woman by the name of Brianna Copenhagen has put her job all the way on pause. She was making $42,000 a year as a teacher in Missouri. She made $2 million in 1 year and was still going to keep her day job, but they fired her for starting her OnlyFans page once people found out about her nightlife activities. And she is not the only one. There is a professor by the name of Joe Gauss, who was a tenured professor. He got into trouble once people found his OnlyFans page with him and his wife. Again, he was making upwards to $6,000 extra a month on his OnlyFans page as a tenured professor. And now has his tenure in suspension indefinitely, where he is suing the school. Kyle, I know I was early calling people going into OnlyFans.
You did. You said that a long time ago.
Said it's going to happen to everybody.
Go back and listen to the pods.
I just want to put this out here.
To the tapes.
That I was not wrong.
You said wellness professionals, but it spilled into the school.
This is getting into all types of areas. How do you feel about these teachers?
Academia. It's crazy.
In academia, putting the cheeks online to supplement their income, bro.
I just want to take some time to note that the times are hard in the world right now. We just went through a priest cooking up crystal meth and a school teacher getting $2 million off selling ass, and then a tenured professor in academia was making a side profit
with him and his wife,
getting him and his wife rocks off. Like when the world comes to an end and you guys sell drugs or your body to make do. What does that say about us as a society?
Times are really changing, bro. This is the end of an era. This is where
the margin on crystal meth is a lot higher than most other street drugs, if you will.
Coming in with
like you got the Fenty pack and then you got the crystal meth.
But then you got to deal with what you cause with that.
But the danger with crystal meth is actually making it. You need space. It is combustible. Like it can blow up. It's quite dangerous.
You need to have some AP science skills to make that work out.
It's rough out here, bro.
Hey, man, that's going to be it from my side of Rip from the Headlines this week. What did you see in your fitness streets, my friend?
Man, that was a lot to take in.
Was.
Let's start with
teacher also said, too. That's why she got that $2 million.
With that being said, bro. Shout out to Brianna C, man. She's out there, showing that puss. Now,
$2 million, bro? Oh, for 42,000?
ain't none out there worth $2 million. I'm sorry.
But, yo,
It ain't worth it.
I go back and I start thinking about some of these teachers that just got that.
It's a lot of horny out there for $2 million for a school teacher.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
None of my teachers was looking like that.
I've never had a teacher built like that.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. I go back and look at my high school teachers. It's like, yo, I wouldn't pay them $2 million for nothing.
We did have a teacher named Miss Banks back in the day, but she looked like she used to strip back in the day. So it was like she had been through some shit and like came out on the other side, found Jesus and all that. But that was about it. It wasn't never like I'm a crash out, as the kids say, for this. But nonetheless, I digress. For finding my own good, bad, and ugly tone, because it's hard out here. Starting with the good. I know you're familiar with Under Armour as a company.
Yes, sir.
I know you're familiar with them being a Baltimore company.
Absolutely.
They have been really taking over the market and producing uniforms for athletics.
Okay.
And there was a post that I came across of them having a showcase of all of the schools in Baltimore that Under Armour was sponsoring. So they gathered athletes of all sports, from basketball, track and field, football, and showed them what their new school uniforms would look like, or for their sport, so to speak. And I thought that was pretty dope, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, I wish I could have did something like that back in the day when I was in school. We had the old beat up, hand-me-down Russell jerseys. You know what I'm saying? It was like, ugh, you don't want this, fam. But I'm happy to see Under Armour step into that light.
Yeah, man.
And they definitely took over the market in a lot of other collegiate sports. And you see companies or like Nike and Adidas kind of falling back when you got Under Armour taking over.
Hey, man, listen, that's a hometown hero right there. So do you have an Under Armour Organic Thug collab in you? This is what I really need to know.
On the way. Don't you worry about that.
There we go.
Speaking of hometown heroes, I got to talk about Angel Reese.
Okay.
Are you aware that Angel Reese has just got another collab with Reese's Pieces?
I did see that, yes,
you know
for sure.
what I'm saying? So she gonna be showing her Reese's Pieces.
You are wild.
No, I mean not like I'm saying her shoe.
She's going back to OnlyFans.
No OnlyFans. She's a classy young lady. You will not hear me disrespect a woman of that caliber.
There we go.
But nonetheless, I was happy to see her continue to get brand deals, and I'm really looking forward to whatever her give back looks like to Baltimore. Like, that story hasn't really been baked yet, but I think it'll be very similar to like when Melo went back and there was the Melo Center and all that other thing.
Yeah.
So what she's going to do for girls basketball, I think is going to be pretty huge within the next 3 to 4 years.
Yo, shout out to the whole wave of women's basketball all over the world, man. They definitely are starting to get that recognition in the brand deals that is needed to elevate the sport.
Now, keeping it in the hoop topic, are you up on the digital hoop, Tony?
I am. I saw a couple of ads about this that they just put up in New York City for sure.
In Tompkins Square Park, in the city over there by Alphabet City, there is a digital hoop backboard, to be specific, in the park that will calculate your makes, your misses, I don't know, give you your humidity.
Looks like
Amazon ad.
AccuWeather forecast is on there.
AccuWeather forecast. I don't need that when I play ball. Why would you think this is a good idea?
I think it is something that people are trying to push some type of innovation, clearly, in the startup world. And I don't know enough about what the features are to say what some of the benefit statements are, but I do know enough about Tompkins Square Park. So if you do want to go and visit this, you got to make sure you're doing it at the right time of day, because Tompkins Square Park is a little
rough
iffy.
around there. Yeah, it's a little ashy.
You're going to meet some old New York in that park if you ain't rolling out
the edges.
at the right time.
We hosted a yoga class there and had to clean up the needles first.
Had to do some sweeping, if you will, some street sweeping, quite literally, So shout out to
street sweeper out.
And whoever's going out there and playing on that backboard, but you definitely got to make sure that you check your environment before you start hooping over there.
I don't need a digital backboard, but it is what it is. Getting further into this ugly, because that was like the first kind of bad situation. Are you aware of the brand Hulka?
Yes.
Are you aware of the brand Satisfy?
No.
Satisfy is the athletic apparel company specifically for running.
Okay.
And these two brands have just collabed, right? Now, Satisfy Running famously would be known for their running shorts and shirts that can range you anywhere from $150 for a running shirt to like $240 for a pair of running shorts.
Okay.
It's luxury runwear, and now they have teamed with Hoka so that they can have a shoe that they have. Now, this shoe is obviously going to set you back some shillings, if you will. Tony, how do you feel about the luxury run wear?
It makes sense. If I just told you that the cheap gyms are going out of here, you're going to have to wear some stuff that matches your $35,000 a year gym. It's on par for the course. It really is something.
What about the brother working out in Tim's?
You can still do that. Nobody's telling you can't. It's just going to be levels to the game from here on out, bro. There's really, in the erasure of the middle class, you are going to see higher levels of every single category that you need to have. And you're going to see those lower levels still exist at the same time. So you're going to have two sets of options. It's not going to be something in the middle. This is just furthering that sentiment where, hey, you can still have Nike. You want one up on the Nikes? You want one up on the regular Hokas? Here's a $600, $700 thing. Fam, people will buy the most expensive version of a thing because it exists and not because of anything else. It's all the belief that they put into it.
Give me 3 of them.
I want top shelf.
Yeah.
Everywhere I go.
Which is foolish.
I want a $250 run shirt. I want a $240.
That I'm a sweat in, get funky.
But if you live
it's going to get ruined in the wash.
If you live that full life, that's how you operate. That is your operational cost if that's the life that you live. Now, if you are somebody who's making champagne decisions on a beer budget, stay your ass out of them Hokas.
Better get that high life. Stop playing.
He's like, yo, we still got other shoes.
And beer in the shot.
Yeah.
Inflation and took that probably about 8.
As long as they don't take away all your other options, it's fine for this to exist. It's just, hey, listen, this is where the world is going, fam.
Mind you, I've also called out the other Hoka partnerships as well as the On Running and all of these things. I'm really just highlighting, again, these wellness and athleisure brands stepping into the fashion scene where now you have Fashion Week existing for athleisure clothing.
Yeah, why wouldn't it, though?
That's a paradigm shift in fashion, in the world, and culture. That's wild to me.
It's a reflection of people's belief systems. People know, now more than ever, people know that wellness is a thing that they have to put into their life to be a reflection of their life. If I am also an affluent person, my wellness is going to look different. Yeah. That's just it. It's not going to look like everybody else's because that's how none of their other decisions are the same. A person who's going to afford that kitchen don't look like somebody who can't afford that. I'm with you. All of them decisions all the way through life.
My issue with that is I agree 100%. But when those people that you're talking about in my neighborhood getting a chopped cheese, that's where I got a problem. If you out here and you got $300, $700 workout attire, your kitchen looks like something on Architectural Digest, but you live in my neighborhood getting a chopped cheese, now I got a problem with you.
I'm going to let you know that's not your neighborhood, fam.
Of course it ain't.
So I mean, you lost that. That's not yours no more. It's theirs.
What Hov say? It's a Hov line for everything. Don't die on the block that your mother renting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those.
That ain't yours no more, champ.
Sliding out of that. Getting into some more bad tone. Now, all of my life, I would like to think that I've been an athlete.
Okay.
I've found sports. I've created sports. I've been top tier in every sport there is known to man. And to my surprise, there was a sport that has existed since 1999 that I didn't know was real until now. Tone, are you aware of roof ball?
No, not at all.
Roof ball, again, as I mentioned...
This is not a sport. I'm just going to go ahead and let everybody know that you're using sport as a very loose term.
Roof ball is a sport that has been around since 1999 in which participants will throw a football-shaped ball on top of the roof and catch it for points.
Yeah, this is what happens when you didn't have no homies in the neighborhood, bro.
We used to just do that for fun.
It's just looking at it as like, yo.
Who can throw the ball up there and catch it? And if it gets stuck, now we got to climb up on the roof.
Climb on the roof ball. Yeah, this is activities to do when you don't have a bunch of friends around. That's what that looks like.
This is a 24-year sport, Tone.
I don't know if it's a sport. It looks like a lonely man activity.
There's people covering this. There's commentators. There's a whole setup. There's a scorekeeper. There's a referee.
And either one of them could have just decided to play catch at any point in time, and they would have taken care of the problem that's existing in roof ball.
Roof ball was around for kids who didn't have fathers, Tone.
That's exactly what it looks like. I didn't want to say that.
When you didn't have a father to play catch with, you had a roof.
Just throwing
there to support you in more than one way.
Your privilege is showing, because motherfuckers did not have roofs where I came from that you could throw shit up on like that. You talk about a slanted roof.
It was a suburban sport.
You talk about a suburban, I was about to say.
It wasn't a city sport.
Somebody was roofing your ball. That shit was not coming back down off the J's.
Not in the projects. It's not slanted.
It's not coming down.
Yeah.
That's up there now.
It's more of a prison setup.
And if you go up there, you're going to find a whole different situation happening up there.
Sliding out of that, Tone. Last part that we're going to get into for today, and the very ugly of it all, is a crazy comparison that I came across. Now, if I were to give you this height and weight, right? I want you to give me two people you think that would fit this bill.
This is already setting man up for failure.
This is a male, right? We're talking male.
This is a woman's thing. This is not.
We're not
one
talking.
Small step
I
for man.
would never talk bad about women's
one
bodies
giant leap.
or anybody who identifies as one, because I am not that. I am only talking about a cisgendered male, if you will, that identifies as a heterosexual. I got all the verbiage.
There we go.
We're talking about
that makes more sense.
A man born, a natural born man, at 6'3" and 245 pounds. Who fits that bill?
I would say it could be a lot of different people. An NFL linebacker could easily be in that, or a small forward in basketball could easily be at those numbers.
I like what you did there. If we're talking NFL, Derrick Henry, who just got drafted, or not drafted, but just traded to the Baltimore Ravens, so shout out to him, is a running back that is built like a linebacker, but Derrick Henry is 6'3" and 245 pounds.
Yeah, there's a lot of discrepancy in how that could actually end up looking, too. Just put that out there.
Now, here's the other side of this 6'3" and 245 pounds. What if I were to tell you a presidential candidate also fit that bill?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It does not equate across
Donald Trump
across the board.
He's also 6'3" and 245 pounds.
First of all, I don't know if he's 6'3" all the way. I feel like that's
with the tube on top, depending on how the wind blows.
Yeah,
he's touching 6'3". When you compare 6'3" and 245 pounds and conceptualize Derrick Henry, the running back for the Baltimore Ravens, and Donald Trump are the same height and weight, it's fascinating.
The body composition story is a real story. It's like, you could be built out of. I ain't even going to try to knock the former presidential candidate down for all of the decisions that he
built like a soft couch. ain't no way around it.
You can get 240-something pounds of marshmallow, or you can have 240-something pounds of muscle. They're going to look different. They're not going to be the same thing.
I just thought that was a wild comparison of height and weight. And that's where I'm going to end my ugly rant, Tone.
That's how it stacks up, man.
And we're going to slide out of that, and we're going to get into a Raising the Bar segment.
Let's raise it up.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, listeners of all type from near and far, you're now in store to raise your bar. Now, speaking of homies built like a soft couch, or a sack of potatoes, if you will.
One of them beanbags.
One of them beanbag chairs, you know the type, flubber ass. We're going to talk about getting out of your own way.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to lead by saying, as an individual, you are your greatest asset as well as your greatest liability.
That's the truth.
At different points throughout my life, I've faced the question of, what do I want out of life, right? Now, at different ages, it's changed drastically. I think about that Dave Chappelle skit way more than I should. This is how Dave would react at 18. This is Dave at 22, and this is Dave at 26, right? Like, I'm going through that same parallel in my mind all the time. So in my early 20s, I wanted to be an alpha male. You know what I'm saying? I trained mentally, physically, and emotionally to become that. And I was like, oh shit, I'm actually that now. I'm respected as such.
I don't like what that has become. Because they changed that into meaning something altogether different.
This is also true. We're not going to talk about that because that's going to turn us into them podcast niggas. So in my mid-20s, I wanted to make money, right? So I hustled and I touched more money than I ever seen in my life. I was getting to it hand and foot. I was out here, you know what I'm saying, making it. In my late 20s, I wanted sustainability. I wanted more stability. I wanted a job that wasn't as physically demanding, a nice place to live, overall improvement on the quality of my life.
Double entendre right there.
You see what I did there? Don't even ask me how. Now, I know I'm speaking like I'm old as shit, right? I promise you I'm not. I'm only, as I mentioned at the top of the show, I'm only going to be 33 this year, right? But my life experiences have matured me beyond my years. And I'm painting this picture of what my wants look like because at some point that shit shifted, right? And call it hitting my 30s, call it the pandemic. But at some point I realized that I had everything that I wanted. And if it was something that I wanted and I couldn't get, probably didn't need it. And that shift then made me think, well, damn, what is it that I need, right? Like, I had to pose myself that question to figure it out. And when you get past all the superficial stuff, you know, being able to essentially afford all the things that your younger self couldn't, there comes that day where you really have to change your palette, right? And you need to understand, damn, what was cool ain't really cool no more. What used to be fun really seems like a waste of time. You know, what used to taste good ain't really hitting like it used to no more, right? That evolution takes place, hopefully, if you get to that point and you welcome that evolution. Now, here's the kicker. You're responsible for your own evolution, right? Like, nobody else is gonna push you to evolve. At some point, your parents can't even do that anymore, right? Like, they've instilled everything that they can in you when you were younger for you to make your own decision as you got older. Nobody is going to do the work for you other than yourself. It reminded me of our second live podcast, Tone, at Samsung 837.
Back in the days.
You remember what episode that was?
No idea.
Episode 109.
That's what's up.
The panel conversation that we had about mindset and movement, right? Now, in this panel conversation for the listeners, you can go back and listen to this episode. I promise you, it's still gems in there. This was 109. We had 8 people on this panel, and it was 4 healthcare professionals on one. On the second half, you had 4 working professionals in the health and wellness industry. And in that conversation, we talked about the gap from technology and embracing the deity seamlessly, right? Providing stories of triumph through setback, positive affirmations, and the duality of badassness and how we're better together than we are apart in a wellness journey.
Yeah.
I bring all that up because what stuck out in this whole conversation of me talking about getting out of my own way was Dr. Shah. You remember, homie?
Exactly. Anuj, man. What's up? Salute to that brother Anuj Shah out there.
Dr. Shah is a cardiovascular specialist that sat on this panel with us and said that the accelerant in most change in life is a catastrophic event. The change in this context was for the better or healthier lifestyles or achieving the best version of you, right? The catastrophic events he talked about was heart attacks, strokes, hypertension, things of that nature that are preventable, right? We talk about the comorbidities and co-mortalities, things that you can prevent. Now, I'm not trying to preach. I'm going to get off my soapbox, but I do want to pass this rock to you, Tone, by asking this question of, can you recall the last time you got out of your own way? What did it feel like, and what did you learn about yourself?
Yeah, I could think of clear and present right now. Even after hearing you read through all of what you just read through, myself today is like, damn, I need to dumb that down. I need to change how that mindset and movement needed to sound. Because I know the efficacy of what I was saying was right.
100%.
But the adaptation to the environment that I wanted it to go into was not there.
That was 2019.
I've been a complicated ass dude for way too long. But the whole
dumb it down
thing that I was trying to talk about is that serious. It's like, okay, how do you marry spirit, religion conversations with technology conversations? Because you're not going to go anywhere. That's where the whole idea of the deity aspect comes from. Some of the stuff that people believe that they're never going to let go of has physical impacts on them.
Yes.
In every way. We can measure these physical...
To get them in their own way, Tone, if you will.
But we can measure these. And if you can measure something, you can change something. And that's the whole through line, was to hope that on both sides of the aisle, the people who are overly committed to one and overly committed to the other find out that we need each other to move forward. That's what I wanted to do. And I will find a much better way to lay that out. But that has been everything that I've been talking about in closing the health gap. because I could sit and talk to a cardiologist, and he knows that I know what I'm saying.
There was also a mental health counselor on there.
I remember. I went out of my way to put that in the direction that I wanted to get it to.
Just putting it on there, you know.
Right? And at the same point in time, it doesn't make that effort any less, but the effectiveness of that effort is always going to have a little bit of a gap if it's too complicated for most people. Fam, I have been a luxury product my entire life.
Yep.
Never really put that together to be like, yo, the people that are buying this first, who have no hesitation on any of the information that I am giving them and will adapt it, are people with high individual net worths. Why would they have the same reality that the people that I want to experience this, who have never saw that side of life, why would they accept that? Why would they want to see that? Why would they want to receive that? No matter how true it is. So part of me checking myself, getting out of my own way, hey, man, you can't just come to people with shit that you think is good for them and just give it to them. No. That's not how this world works.
You were trying to sell a Bentley truck to some Honda CRV folks. Quite literally.
But
they like the CRV. It's cool to them. They don't want a Bentley truck, Tone.
I wasn't even trying to sell a Bentley truck. I was trying to say that you can have Bentley value in yourself. It's like you could change it at any point in time. But realize, fam, we sell health and wellness. Everybody wants the benefits of health and wellness, but don't nobody want the fucking weight or the cost of health and wellness. Yep. You know how I know that? Look at the numbers that people are spending on cutting out the health and wellness part of looking better right now today.
Getting that OZ shot.
You know how much money people are actually making with this Ozempic and any of the GL1 class drugs? It's way more people that don't want the discipline to keep showing up.
That's not even the BBL niggas either.
That's what I'm saying. Like the product that I was selling was not a pleasant product. No. At the beginning, you have to come to a realization that, hey, most people got some type of shit that you're never going to change baked into this thing that you will know a whole lot about. How do you survive? How do you kind of pivot? How do you kind of do that? And I feel like
survive in America.
Yo, I feel like that's my daily struggle, bro. And honestly, it's checking and confirming what my own beliefs are versus what I need to understand about where the world is. And that has to be something that you kind of always, at least I'm always going to find myself, that's going to be my biggest thing. I know what my thoughts are. I know why I feel very adamant about it, but it's also based off of the shit that I pay a lot of attention to. Because I'm trying to beat that clock at every single phase in my life. That is my highest cost every day. Most people cannot operate at that level. And now I realize that, okay, what's it look like to do the simplest form of this? Even down to the shit that we planning actively throughout today. So like, yo, I know what this is going to be. The more I know that I am not wrong in that, I got to find the simplest way to put it. Because that's the only thing that's going to matter. And I could earn people's, honestly, trust to get to that higher level of, you know, whatever that execution needs to look like.
In the words of the poet and laureate, Sauce Walker, he got a line that says, it's hard to tell a G-Shock nigga that he a roller, right? If that goes above your head, I can't help you. Secondary to that, as you lay this out, and I'm thinking about the game of life and playing the game within the game. Mm-hmm. The game within the game consists of all the positions. You got to be on offense. You got to be on defense. But then you also got to be the ref to see both sides. You got to be on the sideline to be able to commentate and to relay what's happening within this game to other people. There's so many other spaces that you have to fill in order to really move forward and understand what's happening in front of you. Removing your feelings about this game, about whatever sport you're playing, entirely. Mm-hmm. You have to then realize, well, where are you going to fit in all of this? And, you know, just to wrap this up, being early to the party. Yes. Dumbing it down to folks. Yes. I do feel like, and this is just me and my crazy mind, that one day somebody going to come back and listen to all the stuff that we've said on the mic. I don't know who, I don't know what, but it's going to be valuable to somebody off the strength.
Hey, man, listen. And the day that happens, know that you're never getting a free piece of information from me ever again.
Never. In life. Those days are over.
It's like, that door is closed. No, I gave you 6 summers of that. It's like, where's the love, yo?
I gave you prophecy on my first joint. Yeah. See, my references come from a real place, man. And I can't dumb that down for folks, man. If you ain't got the language, you ain't got the language.
Hey, man, listen, I told you, times is getting shaky out here, bro. People are turning to everything. So one day.
Fam, I've been looking at interviews with a vampire. I'm thinking about going the other route.
What? That could mean a lot of different things.
Listen, man.
You want to clear that up for the viewing public?
I'm trying to be 33 forever, dog. You know what I'm saying? And just live through all this, man. That's it. You talking about shorting the herd and the population.
Listen,
I know they out here, Tone. I could be a daywalker. I could be Blade. You know what I'm saying?
Listen,
I like leather.
You keep laying this out. It's only pushing you further and further to a very specific demographic.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't agree with your politics, but I'll allow it.
Sliding out of that. We're going to talk about a little bit of relax responsibly. Now, Brother Tone, can you please tell the good folks who this Relax Responsibly segment is brought in part by?
This Relax Responsibly segment is going to be brought to you in part by the On the Move bag.
Okay.
By Off the Strength.
That was a hard left.
I had to make a turn because that's the only place that I had right now. But it could be brought to you by two sponsors at the same time. But first, let me get to the On the Move bag by Off the Strength. Now, did you know, Kyle?
What's up?
That this is the only bag
that
is set up ergonomically to support you in your daily travels, but then also set up to help you get a full body workout. That's right. The only bag that's got your back in more ways than one is delivering a full body karate suspension trainer exercise that you could take with you portably to and fro and also look fashionably while you're doing it. That's the On the Move bag by Off the Strength. And Kyle, you should let the people know what else is brought to you in part by right now.
This is also brought to you in part by my goddamn yoga class.
There we go.
That is coming back. It is the elevated yoga at Frequency Movement. We got a new time, actually. We're going to be starting at 11 a.m. for all the folks that said 10 a.m. was too early. We pushing it back to 11.
The wake and bakers needed a little bit more.
More time.
Bake, less wake.
Exactly. So we pushing it back for y'all, and we're going to get the ball back rolling with that. So tell a friend to tell a friend.
That's what's up, my man. And I was relaxing this week. The most relaxing aspect of my week, bro, honestly had to come from me posing for my portrait from my friend drawing my actual face and everything else.
It was real avant-garde work there.
But you should have seen how serious it was to set up this. So my friend's kid, shout out to Bev, shout out to Girish. Their kids, I've watched them literally their whole life come up. Daughter is fancying herself as an artist and was very fascinated by me as soon as I walked through the door.
Paper and a pencil.
It was paper and a pencil, but literally had me sit there for like a solid 30 to draw that.
Don't move.
That's literally what it was. So watch this little girl
There's a
sketch
step
me,
above a stick figure.
but it took so much time and so much determination that I just was like, you know what? This is amazing. I can't knock this. She's like, you know what? I got to get your scarf that you got on your neck. Let me draw this out.
I love her passion.
That was the most relaxing moment.
That's all I got to say on that. Let's keep going.
The youth, Kyle. I'm encouraging the youth. Inspiring in every single way, man.
You looked extra Spanish in it.
She definitely caught the Vidal part. She threw an accent on that. It's Tony Vidal.
Yeah, for sure. I was like, I know him. If that was a lineup photo, it would have been you for sure.
It would have found me.
Yeah, or a gardener somewhere in South America. Now, speaking on how I was relaxing responsibly.
How were you, my friend?
Man, I've been out here daily sunbathing.
Okay.
Right now, it hasn't been to the extent that I would really like it to be, but I've been outside daily just in the best part of the day to just soak up some sun, man, and just walk on the block, take a little stroll, and it's been quite refreshing to have time to do such a thing. Sounds simple, but I feel like enough people don't take that time to intentionally take that time.
You got to put some life in this battery. The sun is going to be one of the best ways to get it charged back up, my man.
That's a fact. I needed that vitamin D, pardon my left.
Yeah, you back in there.
Yeah, for sure. Black in the future, Tone. Now, it sounds like you're hopeful for something.
My brother, I am hopeful, Kyle, these next couple of events that we got scheduled on the docket go pretty well. Now, Kyle, I've been trying to do my damnedest to make everything come together. I do have some on the short portion I want to let the good listeners know about. So first things first that I got moving is going to be bringing some of that bike yoga flow, Kyle, to the good people over at Patagonia at Clip and at Rainwater, Kyle. Now, I'm going to be in full support in these mobility and biking streets, Kyle, as we get together on the 14th of September at 10:30 a.m. for Climate Week kickoff inside of Prospect Park. I'm very excited about that. Make sure you hit the link in the description to find all the appropriate assets here, but it's going to be a celebration of this whole green wave coming across, man. I thought it was a good time for us to put our stamp on that, and we got some good sponsors coming along with us on that route. So I'm happy about that. I'm also happy to see the young homies really looking to get into the cycling world and get some mental health at the same time, my brother. So the Ride for Mental Health is going to be on September 13th at 5:30 p.m., 147 West 72nd Street. They are going to be outside. Now, that means for anybody who is on the bike and wants to be in attendance, just know most of these bikes is going to be going at 12 o'clock. But the thing that made me hopeful, Kyle, is look at that logo placement on here, my man.
Right
now,
at the top.
You know who else is on this thing. It's like,
I don't see nobody else but the peddlers.
I like the fact that our logo and our brand, and one of the aspects that I could keep a finger in, a hand in the pot, so to speak. Pause. Barnella.
Two in the pink. One in the stink.
Hey, my finger's on the pulse of the city, bro. I'm just trying to let people know I'm out here in this bike life for real. This is the second event that has been sponsored in a year where I'm trying to look for sponsors my damn self. So just to see how it's moving forward, health, wellness, and the biking community all coming together. I'm hopeful to make these things coalesce, much like our later event that we're going to have in October, my friend. What are you hopeful for?
For bike yoga, still going on.
There we go.
September 21st, guys.
There it is.
I'm going to be there. It's the last one. I'm putting my heart and soul into it. Don't want to miss it.
Don't miss it, and make sure you come out ready to make the donations. That's what we're going to need at this next bike yoga, all right? Kyle, is there anything else you need the good people to learn about before we dip up out of here?
Turn on your lights at night.
Yeah, that's a definite need.
I don't care about all of you old-ass vehicles out there where you got to manually turn your lights on. When the sun go down, turn your lights on.
I feel like there's some counter knowledge out there that makes people believe that they can't see your plates or whatever if you don't have your lights on. Because I see a lot of homies in mad different boroughs riding around with no lights at night. It's got to be something up to it. There's got to be some trick knowledge that has circulated around.
Turn them on, bro.
Turn your lights on, man.
For sure.
Everybody, everywhere, please make sure you stay vigilant as you operating in these New York City streets, because these streets are getting crazy, as I talked about at the top.
And if you catch yourself running a red light, don't
do it.
That's it.
It ain't worth it, man. It ain't worth it. But if you are in the city and you do want to check us out, please do know that you can see us live on the block of the Rock at Newsstand Studios. Now, Brother Jones, where can they find us digitally if they want to tap in with Off the Strength?
If you can find us digitally at Off the Strength _ Instagram, that's if you want to check in with us. If you want to come on down in person to the greatest city in the world, sometimes that is New York City. Come on down to Rockefeller Center, where you can visit Newsstand Studios and see us recording live at the block of the Rock. If you shook and skipped money, you could also visit on Instagram at Rockefeller Center or X at Rock Center NYC.
I didn't even know we had a live call-in too. Hassan, is this active? This live call-in number?
Now.
I want to get on.
We can solve your problems.
I want to
in
make
life.
this live call-in number our 1-800-223-9797. We're going to get up there one day.
Don't save her. She doesn't want to be saved.
I need to see what this live call-in feature looks like. But
there's no sex in the champagne room.
Next episode, man. I want to also shout out to good brother Brian Perkins and I Did That Productions. Once again, it's been a fantastic episode of Off the Strength. I am a trainer called Tony.
KR Jones.
Peace and much love to everybody out there. Until next time, we'll see you soon. Peace. What's good, everybody? I'm a trainer called Tony, and I am here from the infamous Off the Strength podcast, asking you today, listeners, viewers, wherever you may be, to please like, listen, and subscribe to our podcast. This is how we're going to continue to be able to deliver you the best goddamn wellness information out here. So if you want to keep hearing this and you want us to keep growing, you are a part of this show just as much as anything else. So please go to offthestrength.com. Make sure you check out our blogs. Make sure you check us out on IG. And if you're hearing this voice and you didn't hit that subscribe button, know that Kyle is going to come looking for you.
You got that right.